Okay, so coarsely chopped chicken, that goes in. So let's do, I think I'm going to use all of it because this is not very much. And then I got some peas. So we're gonna open that up. But you don't put the peas in right now. You put the peas in at the very end. So our potatoes are starting to come to a boil. And let me switch this over here so you can see it. And I hope you can see this. Now see all that white stuff up there? That's starch. So when you start seeing that, that's the starch being released. And if you were making French fries, that's what you want to get out of the potatoes to make French fries, because that goops the French fries up. But we're not cooking French fries, so let's put that back on the stove. Let's turn this to a boil, and let's not forget a lid for it. Now, before I get a lid for it, let's add some thyme. Always add more spices. A little bit of thyme, or a lot of thyme. Let's add some pepper. Depends how much you like. Some cumin. Now if you're going to add any chili peppers or anything, I suggest like hot stuff. Since you're making a smaller batch, add a half batch. You don't want to add a whole, unless you really like the heat, because this is a lot. This is a smaller amount, and I think I didn't add the cinnamon. I like adding cinnamon. Okay. So get in there. It's on high. Let's put a lid on it. And while we're at it, why don't we add half onion? Or try to add a half onion. Okay, it's slipping around on me. Ah, really slipping. Whoa! This does not want to cooperate. Okay, cut the top off, cut the bottom off if you can. Now that's clean. I can use that for trash. And what you do is you peel the outside off. Or try to peel the outside off. See, when you do this without the camera on, it goes so easy, but when you do it with the camera on, then all of a sudden it becomes fumble fingers. Okay, so we're just going to lightly chop this. Add it. Now, if you find yourself, like you're getting back from work and you're like, oh my God, you know, I don't want to cook dinner. I don't want to go through this whole thing. All you're doing is adding the ingredients with the broth already made to a pot, bring it to a boil, simmer, and then you judge it by the carrots, because the carrots are the hardest thing in here. Or you can judge it by the mushrooms, because the mushrooms, as soon as they're cooked, the rest of it's cooked. Okay, now our other pot is boiling. Let's take the lid off. Let's actually stick a knife in there to see. And again, you want to check it. Get your handy dandy scoop out, or a spoon, or whatever you want to use. Let's taste it. Make sure you don't burn yourself. Well, oh, al dente. Okay, I'm gonna cook it a little bit longer. I started it again. I started it with the video, so. Oh, one more thing. Well, this is on high, so this is not easy, but you always want to make sure between gas and electric. Gas is hot, runs hot because it's flame, and electric runs cooler because it's electric. So if you're going to make something, always remember to adjust it, because you know you're going to be making something that's been cooked on gas, And you're going to be standing there on your electric, you know, why isn't it cooking? It's not cooking as fast. Well, it's electric, so you just have to judge that. Okay, that's almost done. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to transfer the lids. Let's put the lids on here. Bring this to a boil. I think that's about done, so let's scoop that out. Ah, this is okay. Reuse the bowl. And then you got some potatoes to put in your soup. We don't put them in right now. We put them in after the soup's done cooking, because if you put them in, bring them back to a boil, well, it makes them softer, but you don't want the potatoes to get mushy. Now, if you want, we got a little bit of hot water in here, and this is great because now we got this hot water in here. Yes, it has starch in it. We're gonna cook our peas. Open up your pea bag or pea bag. That didn't sound very hot, does it? Get your peas out. Pour them in the hot water as much as you want. Swish them around and pour them out. Voila! You can see that. Well, okay, there it is. Your upper hand corner. See how fast that was? I hope you saw the whole thing, but that's how fast you cook peas. You don't want to put them in boiling water because you want that snap, which makes it yummy. Now the thing too is, if you want to, you can put these in a separate container in the refrigerator and not in the soup. Because what happens when you put them all in the soup, unless you have leftover soup and you heat it up again, well, guess what's going to happen? They're all going to turn, it's going to be all overcooked. And then they're going to lose a nice snap. So what you do is you put them in a separate container, add as much as you want to the already cooked soup, and then next time you have some more soup, you can add some more. So they have that nice crispness, not Christmas. Let's not bring Christmas up too fast here. Okay. Well, while we're waiting for my speech to come back to me, cutting up board off here a little bit. I sound like Elmer Fudd half the time. Wascally Wabbit. So, for intermission, because we're still bringing that to a boil. Oh my god, really losing my speech. This is panda me bread, or as I like to call it, panda bread. I made it last night. I also have another bread video on my videos. It's called, I can't remember what it's called. It's called it's bread buns. And it's almost the same recipe. Now, if you notice, this doesn't have all the glamour and glitz to it. I'm not making it for presentation to take a picture of it, but it does smell really yummy. And what you do is we're going to cut a slice of this off. And I'm going to make some garlic bread to go along with my soup. And unfortunately, I can't do that until well, I get the slices ready. But this also makes killer French toast, even though it's not French bread, but killer. I mean, killer. Okay, we're gonna set that right there because I cannot do where my computer is set up is where I toast the bread. So let's get back down here and let's watch soup boil. Yay! So Get our spoon. Oh, it's smelling really good. And again, one of these things is come home from work and you're like, oh God, okay. What am I gonna do? I got leftover soup in the freezer. How many vegetables do I have? Oh, I have a few. It's just basically throwing it in, bringing it to a boil, and then simmering it until the carrots are done. And what you want to do is just grab a carrot, and when the carrots taste right to you, not mushy, but done, then turn it off, and voila, you got yummy soup. So, and I still have this on high. Maybe any day now it'll actually start to boil. So let's, come on, boil. Boil. Well, actually, you know what I'm going to do while we're waiting? I'm going to get some butter out. And, you ever want to know how to make garlic butter? Real easy. Let me get a garlic that's already open here. Garlic, butter, garlic, butter. Just get a few cloves of garlic. Okay. And skin it. Now if you have one of those fancy little garlic peelers where it's like a little plastic thing, you put the garlic inside and then you roll it back and forth. Good. I tend to like to do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, 2, let's do 3. And I think we're going to need our little food processor. Back out. Okay. Garlic over there. Let's undo the butter. Take about, make sure it's accurate here, about 2 tablespoons off. And then we're going to cut the tablespoons into small cubes so the food processor can work with it better. Okay. And let's find our food processor. It's an itty bitty baby one. And where's the itty bitty blade? Oh, inside it. Okay. You want a quest for the processor itself. Okay. Plug it in. Stick it on. Chuck it in. Garlic and butter. Find the lid. Okay, now we go. We're cooking